Jerry Martin and Martin Woods with Ciaran McMahona from a special programme of March 19 of Irish traditional music celebrated its 50th anniversary in 2001. So naturally it was celebrating its 25th anniversary in 1976. RTE made a special programme for the occasion called The Fiddle and the Dance, which largely drew on earlier programmes. From it we've culled some memories from some of the founders and a song about the early Fleadh Ceoil or competitive festivals of the organisation.
This year, a special symposium called 25 Years of Fleadh recalled memories of pioneer days such as Ennis in 1956.
I remember Ennis quite well.
Yeah.
And I remember going into a public house there and we had a kind of a dance going at the same time.
Manus O'Donnell, former National Registrar, and Robbie McMahon of Spancil Hill fame.
Yes.
And I heard the Mason's apron I heard the Mason's apron over and over that time, and it sounded good, and it sounded better from the place that we were dancing at the time.
That time, of course, there was no cars. That time I remember coming in the Saturday evening in an old bicyclist bus, and I prowled around the town. I went down along, I went into the Old Ground Hotel, and I saw three men, there was two men and a woman standing up, and I saw a fiddle standing up, and we helloed one another, and hello, and where are you from, where do you come from, and oh, we came from Kerry, they said, like, so I don't know anybody in Kerry, but I know of Dennis Murphy, like, and they looked at one another, and who happened to be the big man on it, the famous Dennis Murphy, the Latimus and his soul, he was there, and the next thing the fiddles were taken out, and his sister, Julia Clifford, they played together, and we had a great time there, and we moved around.
Robbie reveals an important aspect of early Fleadh. They became a national forum where musicians from all over the country met and got to know each other for the first time.
Around him, there was Sean Seary from Dublin, he playing away like hell's blazes, and over another behind me for the first time Dr. Galligan, we had Leo Ross, and we went down along below, we went in behind, this was Sunday then out in the convent yard, and I saw two men sitting out in two armchairs and they're playing pipes. Sean Reid was one of them, I knew him, but I didn't know the other fellow at the time. He was Willie Clancy, this fellow with the lovely curly hair, and they're playing away, it was beautiful, like, you know.
This is the scene Robbie remembers. Willie Clancy on the left, Martin Talty behind, and Sean Reid on the right.
They came down from Dublin so happy and gay, they brought Leo Rossum to show them the way. Himself and Sean Seary, they played all the way with the flute player Vincent O'Broderick. They came down from Cavan so far, far away, I'm sure they were travelling for most of a day, with singers and players, the best I can say, to compete at the Fleadh down in Ennis. Their players were good and their singers were keen, but Margus O'Reilly was the best of the team, and big Dr. Galligan, he wore the bonny just a swank at the Fleadh down in Ennis. From the kingdom of Kerry they all made their way, and brave Dennis Murphy he started to play the old flog and reel and the black uppity. Sure you'd feel 10 times younger right after. From Limerick Fair City they came by the score, and Johnny McMahon he played an encore, and the bold and DK sure he played as much more, and to finish he played Colonel Fraser.
At the Chinol Ceoil of 76, Robbie met Paddy McIlvanney, one of the founders of the Comhaltas.
Yeah, 51. About it, yeah.
51 we run our first fleadh in Mullingar, and of course from there then Comhaltas started.
Yes.
Comhaltas started after that.
Yes.
And the first fleadh on the Comhaltas then was in Monaghan, 52.
What was it like now in Monaghan that thing compared to Ennis was mine first, you know? What is it in Monaghan? What is it like in Monaghan?
No, it's not a bit of difference, and it was the same Latimer as it is now.
Yeah, a lot didn't know even about it that time, I suppose.
Possibly an older people went to it that time.
Yeah.
It wasn't this young type of people.
Oh, I know that, yes, yeah.
We hadn't, you know, most of the musicians that time were all old people.
Comhaltas officials were critical of the press for ignoring the cultural achievements of the Fleadh. The competitions, they say, were never featured, although they were of the greatest importance in raising the standard of playing of young musicians and helping to revitalise traditional music. Sean O'Carroll.
Well, in those days, the competitions weren't, in the competition you didn't have to qualify. If you had the price of it, you could go to the All-Ireland and compete, whether you were good, bad, or otherwise.
Well, there were no provincial...
No, there were no eliminations at all. If you wanted to go, you went and competed.
And you took the chance with the adjudicator.
Yes, and there used to be the most of 100 in the fiddle competitions. It was desperate.
Martin McCabe, now president of Comhaltas, was secretary of the Clonus Fleadh.
The 64 one was extraordinary as far as we were concerned, because if you remember, in 1963, the Fleadh was in Mullingar, and there was an awful lot of trouble about it. And we had to mount an awful lot of extra work for ourselves in the line of security and what have you, and it all worked out very well. In such a small town, we were amazed that we were able to pack in so many people, and I think we had something like 80,000 people over the weekend. And that is one of the things that we were proud of, that we were able to do it and give them hospitality. The same thing applied to 1968.